listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's WWE SmackDown After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE SmackDown After Show.
What is up, everybody? We're playing Seal for some odd reason, but that's okay. Welcome to WWE SmackDown AfterBuzz. We're biggest for doing, and we are doing another SmackDown AfterBuzz for you. I am Christian Rosenberg. Some people call me professional wrestling's voice of choice, and I am also your current reigning and defending predictions heavyweight champion of the world. And alongside with me this week, we only got one person with me this week, is Mr. Roll Tide himself, Mr. Roll Moore. How are you, sir?
I need to know what the hell is going on your shirt right now. What is this?
Oh, the shirt. You know, it's funny you bring that up. So, years ago, I kind of had an epiphany over the last week. So, years ago, when I was, working in commentary, before I met you, working shows, a guy that I worked with was thinking, with your name, Christian Rosenberg, we got to incorporate Rose more into it. And he gave me a shirt to kind of work with, like, oh, I want the roses out. I want you to kind of, blossom and bloom, if you will. And really become Christian the Rose Rosenberg. And I kind of obviously left that for a little while, but I'm like, you know what? That's not a bad idea to bring back out, to bring back to life, to be Christian the Rose Rosenberg, and show some more color, some more light, some more sense, if you will.
People.
And you seem very distraught about this.
People, help me.
You're gonna like it.
You look like you're about to go play in a Mexican band or a salsa or something.
I'm gonna lead the Los Matadores out to the ring.
You could right now. You look like their manager.
And you would hate that. But we'll get to them a little later.
But you lose that.
But I lose this? We'll talk about this later. That's, I'm going to take the glass off for now to go over the show. When we get back to the picks, I'll get on that.
Your magic glasses.
The magic glasses. The glasses that will help me be victorious. But let's start talking about SmackDown.
Yes.
Hailing from Ottawa, our last SmackDown, like the go-home show before the pay-per-view. This should be where the storylines are culminated, great matches, some last-minute insight. And we really didn't get much of that at all tonight. There was a couple things, but
not much.
Not much.
Nothing to really advance any storylines like I thought they would do, kind of. But, it was a weak go-home show, kind of.
It was a weaker go-home show.
Yeah, it didn't have the magic that last one had before SummerSlam or the one before. I mean, obviously this isn't SummerSlam.
Well, it's not one of the big fours, but one of the big fours. But it should still have like a huge impact to make you be like really excited and don't know really what's going to happen for Sunday.
I'm sorry, that shirt is taking all my excitement away right now.
You love every second of it.
I actually can't stop staring at it. That's
our fans, a.k.a. my rosebuds.
Your rosebuds.
Love every second of it. Rosenberg's rosebuds, baby. Hashtag rosebuds. Make it happen.
Rose thorns.
Wow. How dare you, sir. So the show starts off, Big Show is in the ring.
Yes.
So the show begins with Big Show, where he's really been, the last couple of weeks, he's really been more of the spotlight over Daniel Bryan in this whole thing.
Yes, he has.
And he comes to the ring with a written statement. And he reads, I come out here tonight to publicly apologize for my poor behavior on Monday Night Raw. I apologize to Triple H for not doing the simple job I was asked to do on Monday night. I apologize to the other superstars for setting a poor example as a locker room leader. But most of all, I apologize to the entire WWE Universe for just simply letting you down.
Yeah, I think that was a bit contrived.
A bit contrived?
Just a bit. Yeah, I don't really think he meant it.
You don't think that he wrote that from the heart?
I don't think that he was sincere in reading that.
And it's funny you mention that because then Triple H comes down and says, "Thank you for your apology. It didn't sound sincere, but it was an apology nonetheless."
It was as sincere as Ryan Braun.
Sports references, we get them. Maybe not all wrestling fans do.
No, they don't, but it's okay. Some of them do.
Yeah. So, Triple H comes out after that, and he's like, I need you to understand, I'm not trying to pick on you. I'm just trying to have you be a businessman. Because you're a leader of this roster, and you need to be professional. And in any business, if the COO of the company asks you to do something and you refuse to do it, the COO generally fires you.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, we're getting that tension of, is he going to fire Big Show? But Triple H is like, Show, I'm not going to fire you. But what I am going to do is suspend you tonight without pay.
Without pay.
And to some of you, that might not seem like a huge deal, but to Big Show it is because, as you remember, Big Show is broke.
Just, broke a lot of stuff. Broke some tables.
Just
broke
digging
chairs.
Digging that knife in there.
He breaks a lot of stuff, though.
He does break a lot of stuff, but apparently he's breaking his bank account.
His bank account is broke.
Yes. So, Triple H then's like, all right, Big Show, you're done. Get out of the ring. And as Big Show starts to exit, the Shield's music hits, and the Shield come down and attack Big Show.
Hounds of Justice.
Where Big Show held his own for a while. He actually held his own. There was a cool spot where...
Well, I would think so.
Well, you would, yeah. But there was this cool spot where they're all on the outside of the ring, and Big Show climbs on top of the announce table, so he kind of has leverage over the three of them. Like, they have to climb up to get him.
They have to climb to Big Show.
Which you normally have to climb up to him anyway, but now you got an extra table in the way. And Big Show fighting them off, including jumping off the announce table onto Roman Reigns. It looked really good.
For a guy that size to elevate off of a table.
I mean, he's legitimately 7 feet.
Now, he's not going to be up that long.
No.
At all.
No.
But while he's in the air, it is impressive.
Yes. And eventually, the Shield, with a lot of chair shots by Roman Reigns, get the advantage on Big Show, hit the triple power bomb.
Break him down.
Break him down. And he took a beating and didn't even get paid for it tonight.
Nah, that's sad.
I know.
That's sad.
He just got beat up for free.
Yeah. Yeah, I could make a completely out of line joke.
Let's avoid that.
Yeah, he did take a beating for free.
Yeah.
It's sad.
All right, so that segment ends, and you think normally a lot of times on Raw or SmackDown, you have a promo to set it up, maybe even attack, and then usually your first matchup of the night is something to really pick the crowd up. A Dolph Ziggler, a Kofi Kingston, an RVD. Some of the nature to like, here comes a fast guy, high-flying guy. We get a 6-diva rematch from Monday Night Raw.
That's all right. AJ was in it.
AJ was back at commentary, but this was the same exact thing that we had on Raw.
Yeah.
And it was also just really weird. Like, your first actual match of the night was the Divas?
Usually it doesn't happen that way.
No.
Yeah, normally they come out with a high... Well, I'm not going to say high pace, but a high quality, taking nothing away from the Divas, obviously, but a high quality match between two singles guys.
Sure.
But, this time they gave us the Divas. Now, granted, the Divas definitely are doing a lot better work now.
Yep.
It's not the bathroom break time. It's not the beer run time anymore. It's actually, watchable. It's really, really watchable, and it's enjoyable and entertaining now. But... to do it first match SmackDown, I didn't have as much of a problem with it. Because they're such a hot part of the company right now.
I don't want to say I had a problem with it because I wanted a match, obviously, to happen on SmackDown with it to further the pay-per-view match.
Yeah.
But A, to have it be the same exact match that happened on Raw, and B, to be the opener, like even if it was the second match, if it was after the opener,
it would work.
Yeah, I wouldn't be, I'm not annoyed by it, but I wouldn't be as kind of surprised by it.
Yeah.
And
who would you have put in the first match?
Who would I have put in the first match?
If the Divas are 2 or 3, who would you put one? Out of this show of 3 for 4 matches.
out of the show, which had a few matches, which we'll get to, I would have opened the show with Ziggler and Ambrose.
Would have been a good
The first match.
Yeah.
You already have Ambrose out there from the beatdown. He stays put. Out comes Ziggler.
Out comes Ziggler, which is similar to what they did last week, preceding week. Yep.
The couple notes I wrote on this Diva match, Oksana got a haircut. It looks nice. I like it. It's a little shorter.
Do you like her skills in the ring anymore?
Well, she didn't really do anything in the ring in this match.
True. That is true.
Alicia looked very good.
Alicia always looks good.
She looks really good. You know, I'm really happy with this 4-way that they have for the Divas match because I enjoy all 4 of them wrestling.
Yeah.
Brie, if Brie and Alicia switched, if it was Alicia in that position, I would be just as happy because I think really AJ, Natalya, and Naomi are like the 3 top, and then number 4 is like a battle between Brie and Alicia. So I'd be happy either way.
Yeah, it could go either way with that one.
Yeah. And so that really rounds off your top 5 divas, in my opinion. This match just, in like 2 minutes, just kind of gets chaotic. AJ runs into the ring, causes a DQ, and Natty, Brie, and Naomi surround her and beat the crap out of AJ until Layla finally drags AJ out of the ring.
Which, okay, the WWE has got to be very, very careful with that because, yes, AJ is the heel character in this situation, but AJ is also very well liked by so many people in the WWE universe. Seeing her surrounded by those 3 girls, especially how small AJ is, I kind of felt sorry for AJ. I didn't really want to get behind Natalya, who's so much bigger, and I mean, that girl's buff compared to AJ.
Sure.
And Naomi's obviously a lot bigger, and Brie, who's Brie's a tiny girl, but at the same time still bigger than AJ, and AJ's on the ground in between all of them.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking this could backfire, guys. They could start booing the faces here.
Oh, and it's also kind of odd because remember, Brie is not a face.
That's true. Oh, yeah.
And she's kind of mixed in that, too.
Because of Total Divas, it's messed it all up for me. I'm completely forgetting people's characters now.
Right. Well, you want to talk characters. Let's talk about Dancing with the WWE Superstars.
Yeah, let's... What was that again?
So, again, we're on our go-home show before pay-per-view. And Vicky goes in the ring and announces, tonight we're going to have a special Dancing with the WWE Superstars challenge.
It was the most exciting part of the show for you, right? Admit it.
I honestly, overall, did find it entertaining.
That's because
there were points where I was like, why? But there were other points I'm like, all right, this is kind of entertaining.
This is going to get funny.
Our first contestant is R-Truth, who comes out, does a little bit of his rap stuff, and the crowd is like, yeah, R-Truth's here.
Yeah, yeah.
Contestant number 2, shockingly, is Fandango. Crowd goes nuts.
Yes.
They loved him.
And they should.
And Fandango just kind of does this little waltz. So we're getting ready to have a dance battle between R-Truth and Fandango. Then the Miz's music hits. And I wrote in my notes, out comes Disco Stew. From The Simpsons.
Yeah.
But because all of a sudden Miz comes out in like a silk button-down shirt, bell bottoms and an afro.
He had a full afro wig.
And he was just...
he was going for it.
Grooving his way down to the ring. A fan at ringside happened to be holding a bright pink sequin jacket that fit Miz perfectly.
Most famous SmackDown fan in the crowd now.
So Miz takes the jacket
from the guy that fits him perfectly
and hops in the ring, and he asks to be called Mizco Inferno.
Yeah, he did. Yep, that's applause.
I was so happy about that.
Disco Inferno.
I hope Disco Inferno trended on Twitter.
I would hope so, but I don't know if everybody remembers it.
Disco Inferno. I love Disco Inferno in WCW.
I actually worked a couple shows with him back down south.
So we have Mizco Inferno, and just as we thought, okay, we're going to have a triple threat dance off, out comes the Great Khali.
And at that point, I'm in. Now I'm in. I'm glued.
This might have been the first time ever that I said, I am so happy the Great Khali is coming to the ring. Because to me, it's just like, this is just adding more and more humor to this.
Let's just get completely absurd.
and again, the short term, okay, this is kind of funny stuff.
Yeah.
The long term, what the hell does this have to do with the pay-per-view on Sunday?
Absolutely nothing.
All right. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
So They all take turns dancing for about 10 seconds. R-Truth does the same stuff he does every match.
His moves from 1992.
Fandango does absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Which I love.
He just spins some array around him and wiggles his hips a little bit, and then that's it. He gets a pop.
Miz tries to twerk.
That we're gonna have to have a talk about this twerking.
What?
We have to have a talk.
Talk about like off camera type deal, or
just America's got to come to terms with this twerking thing. It's starting to get out of hand. We gotta.
Isn't it in the dictionary now?
It is.
That's so sad.
Yeah, he put his legs up on the second rope and did the worst twerking exhibition I've ever seen.
Which apparently the crowd loved.
Yeah, they loved it just because he went for it.
Yeah,
just because he went
A for effort.
I mean, even Miley Cyrus she would clap for that.
That was better than Miley.
Yeah, slightly.
Yeah. And then the Great Khali goes, and I'm like, please do the worm, like moonwalk, do something,
anything.
He kind of shook his hips a little bit,
for about 2 seconds.
But then it was like, oh wait, it's the Great Khali just bobbing his arms around.
Done a spin, I would have been
something.
Happy.
If he did something slightly different, he would have won that in a landslide.
But it's just the arms.
And the audience votes Miz the winner. Fandango
twerking does it every time.
Fandango furious, saying the three are a disgrace to the art of dance. Oh, and while he was twerking, R-Truth was like trying to spank him.
Yeah, it was spanking him. R-Truth has got to come out of this time warp. I need him to come out of his time warp. He's somewhere in 1993, back, like, not Gangsta Rap 93. He's back in MC Hammer Backup Dancer 93. And I don't even think MC Hammer would have hired him for something. He's still doing these moves. He's got to change it.
And at the end of this, Miz and R-Truth then beat down Fandango while Khali just stands there. And Fandango gets tossed out of the ring. Miz and R-Truth then start doing kid and play.
Yeah.
With Miz ripped his pants during that as well.
We noticed. To scrub the ground and WWE with old school hip hop tracks. I mean,
and that was like the second longest segment of SmackDown.
Yeah, it was. They filled up the shade. They're making money.
Again, I enjoyed it as like a fan. I'm like, oh yeah, it's kind of comical. But on the go-home show?
Yeah. About how many? We should have timed it. How many
we really should have timed
wrestling had we had before that moment?
We had less than 20 minutes of wrestling on the show. Yeah. Overall.
I think by that point we had maybe 3 minutes.
Nice, because he only had the Divas.
Yeah.
And then there was less than 3 minutes.
Like 2 minutes.
Yeah, before AJ ended it.
Yeah.
Matador's vignette. Another one.
Yep, the guys you're going to manage.
I'm very excited for them. I don't know if you can tell.
Are you going to have people throw roses?
They should. I should get like a rose next to me whenever I do commentary as well.
We're just going to put a picture of Seal right behind you.
Oh, the kiss from a rose?
Yeah.
The kiss from a... Hey, that's going to be my new theme song, all right?
We're going to hold you to that.
Okay. That might be my new theme song. And, the roses, I think, look good on me. I think my rosebuds agree with that. Hashtag rosebuds.
You're really working.
This is going to happen.
I'm going to get you so flush at some point.
That I'm going to look like a rose?
That you're going to look like a rose.
That's happened before.
Yeah, see?
That's why it works for me.
That's my new goal.
That's why this won't work for you. It works for me.
It will not. It will not. And not for the reasons that we're saying.
Now, this actually, now that I'm thinking about it, this might have been my favorite segment of the night. We now cut to the back with our newest broadcast colleague, Ryback. Ryback was fantastic in this.
Hi, guys. This is Ryback.
He was articulate.
Yes.
He was smiling. Some people don't know, I'm also a concert pianist, and I have excellent linguistic skills.
Yeah.
And he's like, please welcome my guest at this time, Robert Evans. And here's this local guy.
The great Robert Evans from, that thing.
From a local company in Ottawa.
That thing.
He had some big teeth.
Yeah. He had, that dude had
I don't want to make fun of it, but the dude had some big teeth.
He had a large teeth gum ratio thing going on. I don't know what I would.
But hey, he got some time on TV.
He got time. He got more time than AfterBuzz's Ryan Klum.
A dig
with Ryback.
So So Ryback's like, you look like you're dressed to compete tonight. How tall are you? I'm 6'4".
Liar.
Really? How much do you weigh? 185 pounds. You're pretty much the equivalent of what Ryback eats a day.
Yeah, every day.
Do you have aspirations? Yeah. Like, do you want to be a main eventer? Do you want to headline WrestleMania? That's great you have dreams. Every one of you at home should have dreams. Even I have dreams. Boom.
Bap.
I have dreams of beating the hell out of guys like you. And just lines over and they're like, back to you guys at ringside.
Yep.
I love this.
It was good. It was entertaining. It was perfect timed. It didn't go too long. Ryback was, like you said, great. He sounded better as a backstage commentator than he does when he's cutting promos in the ring. I think he needs to talk like that all the time.
And now, again, I'll say it again, short-term, hilarious. What does this have to do with the pay-per-view on Sunday?
Absolutely nothing, and that was the theme for the show today. We're just pushing with it. Just all absurd stuff.
I guess.
I think the writers were like, yeah, I got this thing, but it has nothing to do with it, but let's do it.
Let's do it. Why not? Backstage now with Vicky and Ricardo. And Vicky tells Ricardo, you will not be in RVD's corner on the pay-per-view on Sunday. And Ricardo's like, no, I have to be there. He's like, oh, tell him, you want to be in the corner? Well, then tonight, RVD will be in your corner when you take on Alberto Del Rio in a match.
Yep. Go, Chewy.
Yeah, we know him out here as Chewy.
Yeah, he's a friend of the program.
And I'd be more interested in Ricardo and Del Rio on the pay-per-view Ricardo Del Rio on the pay-per-view than RVD and Del Rio.
Yeah.
Because they have a story behind it.
And I said this once in the screening room. I'll say it right here on air. RVD is kind of the forgotten guy in this storyline. It's still all about who's going to win between Del Rio and RVD. Oh, it depends on what Ricardo's going to do. Like, no, it has nothing to do with RVD, really. Yeah. It's almost a sad thing that he's the throwaway guy. How did that happen?
I know. I don't know.
He's RVD, for God's sakes, but, All
right. Then we get Damian Sandow versus Santino Marella.
Oh, you're not going to talk about the backward suplex?
Though the match hasn't happened yet.
Oh, the match didn't happen yet?
No, that was just a promo lead up to it.
Oh, yeah, that was the promo lead up to it. See, I'm already rushing because I want to get...
You want to get to the picks.
That was a good...
We got to get...
Yeah, we're gonna have picks. We're going to
have those picks. We're going to get to those picks where I will defend this title against an army of people that are going after this pay-per-view.
You're going down.
Yeah, whatever you say. Sandow and Santino. So we're about 45 minutes into the show, and this is the first real match of the night.
That's
and it goes about less than 5 minutes. And Santino wins. Hits the Cobra, beats Sandow clean. No roll-up, no nothing. The Money in the Bank guy loses again quickly.
I think they did this with someone.
They did this a couple years ago with Daniel Bryan, where he lost everything. I'm not against him losing, but I want them to be competitive losses.
They're not even... It's not even like good matches. It's almost like
it's so weird. I mean, I get you'll have the shock factor when he cashes in, and if they have him win it, which most likely they will.
Yeah.
But then it's just like, well, what are you going to do with his actual reign? Is he just going to have the title for a week?
Is he going to be just a transitional champion?
Right.
What is it going to be? Right now, he's MVP with a briefcase. Remember when MVP went on that long run of losses?
Yeah.
No one knew why. Yeah, but I think they have a plan for this. I hope. I really hope, because he's a good talent. So
he's a very good talent.
They
he's
can't
one of my
devalue
favorites.
him. Yeah, they can't devalue him too much.
No.
So I don't know. And, no disrespect to MVP. I love MVP, but I remember that run, and this is starting to look like it.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see. Now we get Michael Cole interviewing Paul Heyman and Curtis Axel. Why does Michael Cole need to be in the ring interviewing them? He asked them one question.
Yeah, because they usually just come out and speak.
Yeah.
And it's phenomenal, and they go back.
And it was pretty much the same question that everyone's been asking Heyman and Axel over the last several weeks. What will happen if Punk gets his hands on you?
Punk gets his hands on you.
But I absolutely loved what Paul Heyman did, because then Paul Heyman answered it differently than how he's been.
Yeah.
He asked people to boycott the pay-per-view. He told people not to order the pay-per-view.
Don't order this. Do not give the company that employs me $59.
Do you ever remember somebody on WWE TV saying, don't buy the pay-per-view?
No.
It was so weird.
That was a completely different dynamic. It was unique.
And he tried throwing, like, do you really need to spend money to watch me get hurt, to watch me get beat up?
He's looking more and more haggard as we get closer to the match.
Not sleeping, not shaving. His eyes are bloodshot.
Eyes are completely bloodshot.
That's why, like, on Raw, when we'll get to the picks, he's going to be nice and clean shaven. It'll be all good to go. And, I mean, and then he goes, like, this might be the last time you all will see me. And if it is, I just want to say, I will always love CM Punk, but I will never forgive each and every one of you.
That's what Paulie does the best.
And while we were watching that, you started talking again about Bobby Heenan, Paul Heyman.
He's getting there. Paul Heyman is getting right now. To us, just not, to everybody else it may be different, but to us, Bobby the Brain Heenan is the best manager of all time.
Yep.
Paul Heyman
is right there.
So close.
He's right there.
So close. If this continues, I say maybe just if he just stays a manager for 8 to 12 months. Mm-hmm. I think he may do it.
With like a couple more guys, or you think just the ones he has?
Well, I mean, Brock obviously is there limited.
Right. Then he has Axel, who's there regularly.
It depends a lot on what they're going to do with Axel, and I'll expound on that when we get into the picks, obviously.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll expand on that later on. But in the meantime, we want to make sure that people go over to iTunes and rate and subscribe this AfterBuzz podcast, as well as all your other favorite podcasts. And if you like wrestling, you should know that we do Raw, SmackDown, Main Event, NXT. We've recently started. We do Total Divas too. The mid-season finale is this Monday or Sunday. Well, our AfterBuzz will be this Monday.
Right.
The show airs Sunday. After Sunday Night Heat and Shotgun Saturday Night. But yeah, make sure you tell friends about AfterBuzz and all your favorite shows, and make sure you also visit AfterBuzzTV.com so you can see a schedule of all the shows and what your hosts are up to. And please give 5 stars, like, subscribe, and leave comments. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you like and don't like about what we say. Let me know if you love this shirt, because this is what's going to happen now. Christian Rosenberg is back with a vengeance, no less, and it's going to be glorious. It's going to blossom into something that you've never seen.
I like your shirt, Christian.
Thank you, Marissa. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a.
It's very rosy.
There you go. It's supposed to be rosy. Marissa is a rosebud. Rome, join.
No.
Join the garden.
AfterBuzz.
Join the
TV.
garden of rosebuds. That's
you watch them.
# rosebud. It's going to happen.
Yeah, this is gonna go bad.
You're loving this. You're just jealous you didn't think of it.
That shirt is almost as annoying as your title run.
Wow. And I even hear the producers in the back laughing about that.
Yeah, because it's true.
Why is my title run embarrassing? Just wait till I beat like 97 people, because that's how many people we have picking this pay-per-view. Because, I mean, it's absurd how many people. All right.
Oh, God, I hope somebody beats you.
My chances are like slim to none. Del Rio versus Ricardo. Again, this should be a pay-per-view, but it's on SmackDown. Ricardo's dressed up like a fan again. Just wearing an RVD t-shirt and warm-up pants and sneakers. Del Rio destroys Ricardo. Ricardo starts to try to fight back, hits a tornado DDT where Michael Cole like literally sounds like he has an aneurysm. Oh my God, where'd that come? He's gonna win. Oh, he kicked out at 2.
Joey Styles would have been proud.
And then Del Rio hits his reverse superplex on Ricardo.
Yeah.
Which looked pretty damn good.
Yeah. That's a strong move to hit a guy that's just a ring announcer with.
Yeah. But Ricardo was able to take it, and then Del Rio gets the pinfall victory, which isn't normal out of Del Rio. Didn't bother the cross arm breaker on Ricardo. Just hit this the reverse superplex and got the win. And then RVD came in, beat down Del Rio, hit the 5-star frog splash. Is this what we're going to see on Sunday? Will this happen to Del Rio this Sunday? Yeah.
Save it for the picks. Save it for the picks.
Dolph Ziggler versus Dean Ambrose, a.k.a. our first real match of the whole show.
Yeah.
Because you had a wrestler versus a manager. You had a Divas match that got broken up real quick. The Sandow Santino match was so fast we couldn't.
That was like the end. That was like an hour and a half in. I believe.
We're close.
Yeah,
close to it.
Considering that we didn't really have a main event on this show.
Yeah. Now this was a fun match going back and forth, as only we could expect these two to give.
Yeah.
And also, if Ziggler wins the match, he gets a United States title shot at Night of Champions.
Yeah.
So Ziggler, we're thinking, well, he's been on quite a losing streak.
Yep.
Will he be able to muster up a win to get that title shot? Like I said, going back and forth, there's a point where Ziggler fighting back, hits the Famouser, starts getting ready to go for the cover, but out comes Reigns and Rollins to cause a disqualification and beat him down. Now with the DQ, that means Ziggler does get a title shot this Sunday night. However, now the beatdown has happened on Ziggler. Who's going to make the save? Because Big Show's gone.
Yep.
Is Daniel Bryan going to come out? Is The Miz going to come out? How about the Usos coming out and chasing the Shield off, in which Vicky then comes out.
Excuse me.
And says, excuse me. And announces, no, right now we're having a 6-man tag team match with the Shield versus Ziggler and the Usos. So we go right into that.
Immediately I got excited.
And I'm like, cool. Back-to-back fun matches.
Yeah,
I'm all right with this.
Up.
And we go back, with commercial, we come back. And again, Ziggler is getting the beating. Ziggler took the beating this entire match.
Whole time. He's been doing that a lot lately.
He has. Because he does it so well.
He does it. He's just a rag doll, but a protected rag doll. Like, it's the weirdest thing. He makes getting beat up look fun.
Come on, let's be honest. I am an incredibly weak person. I can throw a punch.
I never
didn't know that?
Guessed that. Never would have guessed
I can throw a punch at Ziggler, and he can make it look like I just knocked him out.
Yeah, that's true.
And that wouldn't be an easy feat to do with me. But he's that talented at it.
I have to see you throw a punch. I've yet to see you throw a punch. It's hard to imagine a man with that shirt throwing a punch. So, yeah, this will be interesting.
Learn to love it, buddy, baby, whatever I'm going to say.
Yeah, just think about it.
You're making me jumble. I'm so worried about this title.
We're coming.
No Wyatts tonight. Since you mentioned we're coming.
Yeah.
No Wyatts tonight.
I missed them.
Yeah.
I wanted to see them.
So the 6-man tag, Ziggler eventually gets the hot tag to Jimmy, who cleans house. Chaos then starts ensuing as they do in typical 6-man tag matches. Jimmy hits a couple super kicks.
He just started giving them out.
Here's one to Roman. Here's one to Seth.
You get a super kick. You get a super kick.
And then he climbs the top rope to go for his top rope splash. Rollins gets his knees up, and right after he hits him, rolls him up, gets a 3 count. Really cool finish.
Yeah, that was a nice reversal. I love that one.
Yeah, but I mean, Usos and the Shield, they work well together. They put on good matches.
Thinking about that tag team.
We'll get to that momentarily. But yeah, Shield pick up the win. And then SmackDown ends with a promo. Cutting Edge segment.
But it was Edge.
It was Edge, which was cool. Edge comes out, gets a real nice pop from the crowd.
You think you know me?
On this day, I see clearly.
Still one of the coolest theme songs ever. Oh, but he didn't have the smoke, though. I missed the smoke.
He didn't have the smoke, but he did have the pyro.
He had the pyro. I missed the smoke, though. The smoke was dope.
I'm still not used to him with the short hair.
It's going to take some time.
It's been like 2 years.
Yeah, it's so hard to see. We remember cool long hair Edge. That's always going to be the Edge I remember.
Yeah. It is. So, I also like the fact that Tony Chimmel introduced Edge, not Lillian Garcia.
Rated R superstar.
Oh, no, that's not how he does it.
Oh, yeah.
The Rated R superstar.
Yeah, that's right.
He always has him do it because his voice always cracks.
Yeah.
And he loves that for some reason, so he had Chimmel do it.
He has to do it. He's still employed. You got to do it.
Hey, I like Tony Chimmel.
Yeah.
Man, I think it's just kind of funny, like, we're going to have him on SmackDown do that one thing.
Yep.
All right.
Let him do it.
So, Edge's guest for the Cutting Edge, which is, pretty much like Miz TV, just without the TV and the couch.
Yeah.
Is
that stuff to break.
Which is kind of like Carlito's. That's Randy Orton's music.
Oh, he was in the segment.
He was in the segment. So that was one of his guests. And his other guest was Randy Orton's opponent for this Sunday, Daniel Bryan.
Yes. The short bearded one.
And really, Edge is just like, all right, no, let's just cut to the case. Let's just get right to the questions. Randy, why are you a sellout? It's just like,
right into it.
Right, boom!
Straight for it. And then, I don't even have the knife behind my back. I'm coming right for you.
And then I felt kind of weird with this because then Orton started talking trash to Edge, and then Daniel Bryan was like, hey, you should show some respect.
Yeah.
It's just like, what? Like, Daniel Bryan is like, hey, stop being mean.
Yeah.
And it just seemed weird.
Be a star.
It just seemed out of... Not Daniel Bryan being out of place per se, but I'm just saying the whole interaction just seemed out of place.
The writing on that, I think, was a little weak. First off, how can you even have Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton in the ring without Daniel Bryan trying to kill Randy Orton right now?
Considering over the last month has been nothing but Randy Orton beating the crap out of Daniel Bryan.
Beat him down. End of every show, he's just posing. Just standing over and posing. He's taking a beat down at the end of at least the last 4 shows straight. How is this not automatically fist being thrown and a slobber knocker, as good old JR would say?
Who just recently retired. He officially announced that he's retiring.
I'm going to miss him.
I know.
Even though he's
greatest of all time.
Yeah, easily.
Yep.
But yeah, man, I did not understand how you're going to put that dynamic in with only Edge in between them, who we know isn't going to get
He can't physically get involved.
He can't physically do anything right now.
And he's also technically not under a WWE contract.
Yeah.
So he won't do that regardless, even if he was healthy to do it.
Yep.
And, Daniel Bryan then gets on the microphone, cuts a great promo, but again, now we're sadly getting to the point where it's just like, okay, we've heard this.
Yeah.
Especially during this feud going on with Orton. We've heard this promo that you're giving to Orton. And the only thing I really liked about it was he said, talking about dreams. And I think you said there should be a drinking game every time you use the word dream in this promo.
Yeah. Take a shot every time he says dream.
Yeah. You would have had about 39 shots.
Yeah.
And
I have a dream about a dream, and the only thing I've dreamed.
The one thing I liked was he said his dream hasn't been to be the face of a corporation.
That was a good line.
That was a good line. That line I haven't heard before.
Yeah.
The rest of it is kind of a mix of what we had recently.
Yeah, a B version of everything he said to Orton
Which
and Cena.
there are going to be times where we have that, like we do with The Rock, like we do with Cena, like we do with Austin. That's part of the thing.
Yeah.
And that's okay. It just seemed, why are we ending SmackDown, the last SmackDown before a pay-per-view, with just the two of them kind of standing saying the same thing? SummerSlam, when you had that last thing on Raw with Daniel Bryan and Cena, they did not say the same thing there.
No, they didn't. That was a great night.
So it was just like, well, why is it kind of similar here? And then they start brawling. Orton takes control, and in a split second, Daniel Bryan locks in the yes lock, and Randy Orton starts tapping. Will he tap this Sunday? Will he do it again and win the WWE title? And in the midst of this, Edge is just standing there.
Just looking around.
And then referees come out to separate the two.
I was looking for the Shield.
I was looking for the Shield. I was looking for Triple H. I was looking for other wrestlers. I was looking for the Big Show to come back.
Yeah. No,
we had referees.
4 referees.
Yep. They separated Daniel Bryan and Orton.
That's just bad.
Daniel Bryan doing the yes chant as WWE SmackDown goes off the air, but then comes back on for a split second for Edge to remind everyone to keep tuning in because the season premiere of Haven is starting.
Yeah, you got to watch the show.
That was so weird. Like, it ended and then went right back with Edge looking at the camera, being like, oh no, well, Triple H stepped on my time, I'm going to step on his. Haven is about to start, so tune in.
Yeah, right now.
Right now.
Don't change. Tune in.
And then Daniel Bryan walks over to him and is like, hey, can I be a guest on the show? And they cut the mic.
And then the yes chance.
And then the yes chance to set it off. I'm like, all right. So that was our go-home SmackDown for the pay-per-view. So we had, as far as the actual wrestling, as I'm trying to reorganize my notes, so we had the Diva match, which wasn't really much of a match. Then we had the Sandow match, which was quick.
Yeah.
Del Rio versus a manager. Ziggler Ambrose, 6-man tag. So two
matches in one.
legit matches, which kind of rolled into one.
Yeah.
2 real matches. on the last show before pay-per-view.
Before pay-per-view.
I'm kind of disappointed in that.
They're saving it for Battleground.
They maybe are. So with that, then, I'm going to say my favorite moment of the night was the Dancing with the Superstars. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Ryback. Ryback's backstage. Ryback, I think, to me, had the best segment of SmackDown tonight. What about you?
Oh, man. I'm going to say Ricardo and Del Rio.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because nothing really stood out on this entire show.
That's true.
It wasn't really like I could pick any segment right now and say, yeah, that worked. Like, I could pick AJ and say that was the greatest part of the show. I could pick any of the kind of matches and say, yeah, that was great. Hey, Santino was back. Hey, that was great. It was just kind of everything was kind of even keel. It wasn't a moment that jumped out for me at all. So
sure.
I'm going to take a push on this one.
Okay.
Everything, whole show across the board, push.
Fair enough. All right, so with that, then, let's get to our predictions for Night of Champions.
And let me put the
your
shades back on.
AfterBuzz
TV predictions.
Yeah.
Maybe throw this over my shoulder.
You're putting it on, really?
I'm going to hold it right here so everyone can get a good look at it, because this is exactly where it's staying. So I just want to clarify, because some people have tweeted me in concern, because the Raw crew did not announce their predictions on the AfterBuzz. Mm-hmm. Don't worry. They're all doing their picks. We've like emailed, kind of all having the picks, and I don't know, either me or Phil will like send a tweet out with everyone's picks.
They're scared to tell you guys. They're just scared to do it in front of the world.
Maybe. And
we do it right.
And even though Corey's not here tonight, she's already sent her picks as well. So don't worry. Everyone's going to have their picks. Everyone has their shot at my title. Everyone will fall. It's fine.
Please, somebody take it. Somebody.
I do also enjoy on Main Event this past Wednesday, Phil, our lovely executive producer, specifically said, I don't care who wins. I just want Christian to lose the title.
Yeah. I agree.
Thanks, boss. Thank you.
I agree. Great boss. I agree.
I appreciate the love. All right. Pre-show, tag team turmoil. Very excited for. I'm really excited for this match. Yeah. 5 teams and primetime players: Usos, 3MB, Tons of Funk, and the Real Americans. Some people might not even know what a tag team turmoil match is, because it's been a long time since they've done it.
Well, explain it.
That's what I was gonna do.
Dun, dun, dun.
So you got 2 teams.
Oh, he dropped the belt. This is serious.
I'm breaking it down. You got 2 teams. One team versus another. They're going to fight. They're going to wrestle. They're going to jump off the ropes and all that stuff. Then one of them is going to win, and that team leaves, and then all of a sudden another team comes out, and they got to wrestle again. And that happens until all 5 teams come out. Whoever's the last one standing will be the number 1 contenders and get a title shot later on in the pay-per-view. So the order is obviously very important. We don't know what the order is.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
Up until SmackDown tonight, was completely sold. Primetime players, millions of dollars.
As was I.
Which I'd be so happy to see. But all of a sudden, we had the Usos involved with the Shield tonight. And I really think it's to try to throw a wrench in everyone's thoughts.
Yeah. Swerve. They do this from time to time.
They do, which I love. And it's because of that I am sticking with my gun and saying the primetime players.
That's like everybody's pick. Wow, I get to go after the champion.
Nice. For this match, we're going to rotate. We're going to rotate. So I went first, and then you'll go next. So I'm sticking with primetime players. I think as much as I love it makes sense with the Usos to do based on this SmackDown, I wouldn't be surprised if the first 2 teams in the tomorrow was the Usos and the Real Americans, and they just have a great match.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Tons of Fun comes out, they lose, then primetime players number 4, and 3MB number 5.
Here's the question. If you don't pick the pre-show correctly, but you pick the tag team match correctly, how are we going to count that?
Well, here's the thing. If you pick... So say I pick the primetime...
Let's say I pick the Real Americans.
Say you pick the Real Americans right now, and then you say the Real Americans win the tag titles on the pay-per-view.
No. What if I said they lose?
Well, then you're picking the Shield to win. So then you have the Shield.
Cool. Just
so that's fine.
That will still count.
That's fine. But all right. So I took primetime players. Who do you have?
I am going to go against the grain. I think I'm just going to be just me and Phil. We're alone on this one. I'm going with the Usos.
Picking the Usos.
They're filming the 2nd season of Total Divas right now. I think it could be hot.
Are we really getting the music already? Crap, we got 6 matches to run through super quick. All right, Ziggler and Ambrose. Ambrose, easy enough. Tag title match. So whoever wins the Turmoil versus
Shield.
I'm with you on that, Shield as well. I figured this is a pay-per-view where like we're almost going to agree on everything.
Yeah, everybody's picked. That's why I had to pick one different one.
RVD and Del Rio.
Del Rio.
It's kind of a no-brainer there.
Yeah.
This one I find interesting. The Divas match. Fatal 4-way for the Divas title.
AJ for the win. I'm sticking with AJ. They cannot take her momentum away right now.
Yes, they can for like a week. They can for a week. Why? Because they're probably finishing filming Total Divas. And when they film Total Divas, how do you want the season to end with one of them being the champion? That is why Natty is going to win the Divas title. No. She won't beat AJ. She'll beat someone else, win the title, and then within like a week, AJ gets it back.
Could happen.
And then
I wouldn't agree, but could happen.
But then you could also throw in, I'm still waiting to see Paige.
Yeah.
Because you can throw the anti-diva, maybe she'll help AJ. Or maybe she'll come in the rematch and help AJ win it then. Who knows? But I'm going with Natty on that one.
Chickbuster's return.
There you go. CM Punk versus Paul Heyman and Curtis Axel.
Hard match to pick.
That's why you're... Oh, wait, you went first on the last one.
I went first on the last one.
All right. That's fine. This is when I'm going to completely overthink this and blow people's minds, and then they're going to laugh at me because I'll probably be completely wrong. About, 6 weeks or so ago, Paul Heyman appeared on NXT and talked about how he feels the next Paul Heyman guy or girl, he said, is coming from NXT, and he's here to scout. Who has not really been on NXT since he was there?
One Sami Zayn.
No, Sami Zayn's been there like every week.
Sami's been there.
Yeah. Cassius Ohno.
Yeah, that's who I was talking about.
Who is currently under WWE contract that was on the CM Punk DVD that we have yet to see CM Punk mess with? Cassius Ohno. Now, there were...
recall his old name.
Or Chris Hero.
Thank you.
Now, there are obviously rumors going around that he's off TV for different reasons. I think that's a swerve. I think Axel will get pinned eventually. It's going to be a long match. Punk will pin him. And all of a sudden, it's going to be just Punk and Heyman. What's going to happen? And Cassius Ohno will come out, beat him up. Heyman will pin CM Punk. And then we got Ohno and Punk going. So I'm saying Axel and Heyman win the match. And if Ohno comes out, I should automatically win this thing.
I am going to say Punk's going to get the win on Axel, but he's not going to deliver the beating that he would like to deliver to Paul Heyman.
Or remember, it's an elimination match.
Oh, yeah, it's elimination.
So if Punk pins Axel, then it's Punk versus Heyman.
Yeah, and something at that point will happen. And Heyman, I don't know what it's going to be. You have a good theory. I'm not going to repeat it. But I'd see something along those lines happening.
Okay. So you're staying...
End of the day, Paul Heyman's going to
So you're saying Axel and Heyman winning. Technically, Axel wins with it too.
Yeah.
All right. And then finally, WWE title on the line, Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan.
Randy Orton.
I want to say no so badly. I want to say no. I want to say Daniel Bryan wins by DQ so badly, but that's too big of a risk. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if Randy Orton wins by DQ because of the Big Show. He gets so angry and finally hits him. And causes a DQ, but Orton's still the winner, and then Daniel Bryan gets pissed at Big Show and all that mess. So Randy Orton, we both said Orton. So really, you and I only differed on Tag Team Turmoil and the Divas match.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. So we'll see. And you'll see all of our picks. And make sure this Sunday night you tune in for the Night of Champions AfterBuzz. And in the meantime, Rome, where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me on Twitter, Rome the Ruler. Always. That's where I live. That's where I am. That's what I do.
All right. And for those of you that want to join the Rosebud Nation, the Rosebud Garden, and want to join me on Twitter, you can follow me at CRosieVOC. And like I said, check us out Sunday night for the Night of Champions AfterBuzz. Thank you so much. For Rome Moore, I am the predictions champion, Christian the Rose Rosenberg, and we shall see you next week.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later, says the champ.
Roll Tide!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.